Good morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Welcome to Coffee and Conversations with AMR Elite Realtors LLC. I am Alicia Richardson, the broker, and I have joining me this morning.
Juanita Winky Kennedy, associate broker with AMR Elite LLC.
And I am Mashana Perry, broker owner for Making Moves Happen Realty in Charlotte, North Carolina, and realtor with AMR Elite Realtors.
Hey.
Good
So
morning.
I apologize ahead of time. I think it's a little bit of feedback when I'm talking, but hopefully you can hear all this good information we're about to share today. And so we want to talk. Well, first of all, I want to make sure everybody's cool. Is everybody cool? Because it is hot outside everywhere.
Yes.
And the last Coffee and Conversations, we did have an AC expert on there that gave us some info. So hopefully everybody got good info from him to make sure your AC is working to its optimum capacity,
Mhm.
Yes,
But
indeed.
but today we're going to talk about the real estate market. So we're doing some market minutes. Always good, I guess, to do market minutes so we can find out what's going on. That's right. So it's very interesting. I was pulling some numbers and I didn't realize the numbers were even like this. But so I pulled up numbers for Prince George's County, Charles County, Montgomery County, Washington, D.C., and Anne Arundel County. So what I did is I wanted to see what was currently active on the market, right? So active means the house is on the market for sale, not under contract, just still for sale. So right now, within the last 30 days, there is 1,556 active properties on the market in Prince George's County. But 749 of them went on the market between June the 1st and today.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So in 26 days, 749 houses went on the market. That's like, so people are selling.
Yeah.
The point is, they're not buying.
Well,
They're buying, but
right.
strategically, they are buying at a level of affordability. And I think if we keep that in mind when we do our pricing strategy for the homes that are on the market, that we understand that you're not going to get over what the value is of the home. And if you price it right, and you use a great real estate agent that does that RPR and finds out exactly what those numbers are in between, then you're on a good footing. However, you overprice it, it's going to sit and it's going to sit and it's going to sit because people are looking for value right now due to the higher rates. They want a lower price, so we have to do that as realtors.
Yeah.
We have
So 504 properties actually closed between June the 1st and June the 26th. But then there's also 136 that are listed as coming soon.
Probably getting those ready. And people don't realize that when you overprice initially and then you have to go back and decrease the price, it doesn't actually benefit the seller. It's better if you price it right the first time. So, that's what we're telling the sellers. Don't feel like getting up there trying to see what you can get. And then you have to go back and backpedal and decrease your price is really going to help you. It's really not.
Right. And then it's also good for sellers to know that buyers are still requesting closing assistance.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
They need it.
They're still needing closing assistance.
You have to think the higher the rates, the more money they have to spend to obtain the loan and to get to settlement. So you have to be willing and not close your mind and say, oh, I'm unequivocally not giving anything. Because guess what? The house down the street might be priced the same, might have higher square footage, and they may be giving closing help. Yep. So where they're going to go? They're going to go down the street. So you have to think to yourself, what am I going to offer this person that really loves my home and get to settlement without delay? And how can I help them achieve their dream of home ownership if it's their first house or, you never really know. But closing helps to get your house sold.
Right.
It really does.
What I've realized a lot of times the sellers that neighbor has sold a home, and they'll say, "Oh, well, no, he sold his for 350." But did he tell you how much closing assistance he gave?
Yeah.
They never said that they helped the buyer be able to purchase by giving assistance.
You got to make it attractive, right?
Yeah. You have to make it. I mean, so the moral of the story is homes are selling, but they're selling for the right price.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to make sure it's priced right the first time. And so Charles County has 549 active properties. They sold 145, and they have 40 that are coming soon. But look at this, and everybody knows prices in Washington, D.C., right? Washington, D.C. has 2,882 active properties on the market. That's a lot.
It is.
That's a lot. They sold 427.
Whoa.
That's not a good sign.
Right. That price point, I know that price point high.
You got to work on something.
So we have to think about, we have to make the home attractive for the buyer, the presumptive buyer, and we have to make the price attractive for the presumptive buyer. And if those two meet, you got a deal.
With
if they don't, you don't have anything. That's the thing.
Right.
You go price point, and it has to look good. Because here's the thing. A lot of people don't understand that curb appeal makes a difference. If I go to a house and that grass is high, I don't care how nice it looks on the inside. Right. They've already seen the grass is in disarray. And so that's a problem. So you have to make sure that all of your corners are cleaned out. The house looks good and that it's move-in ready for the potential buyer. And they don't have to go get a lawnmower before settlement day or after settlement day. That's, one of the things people don't realize. It makes the deal. It makes it happen. If you make it attractive and you give up some closing help, you win in this market.
Yeah. Win. How's everything looking in North Carolina? Do you guys have a info?
So right now we have about 15 coming soon. We have 114 new listings that just hit the market. We are seeing a lot of those new listings, which we just spoke on. The price has been decreased on 131 of recent listings. So again, sellers are pricing high, hoping to get, the most bang for their buck, and finding out in this current market environment, it's not working. So now they're coming down on the price to try to move that property. Our medium sales price here is about $405,000, and our average list price is about $589,000. So I would kind of say we're at an even keel right now. And what helps us here is that we have new homes coming up on every corner every week in Charlotte. Like those of us who live in Charlotte, if there is some grass somewhere, they're going to build. And the great thing with that,
I think that's everywhere though, Mashada. I really do. I really do.
It's amazing because the great thing with the new home builders is they're able to buy down that interest rate. And right now the market is kind of trending around the 6 to 7%. But in a new home, I've had some that have gone. I just had one that did 4.99, which is amazing. So it's like they're able to give that new or first time home buyer that advantage to come in with a more affordable mortgage. And that makes a big difference.
Yeah. It's the same thing around here. So I looked, and the average home price here is $433,735, which is like a $2,200 mortgage payment, right?
Yeah.
But this is what was really interesting. The current average rental price is $2,200 a month as well.
Same here. And like, move down south is cheaper. Well, honey, everybody got the bug now. Everybody coming down to Charlotte, and guess what? The prices are increasing. So now you're seeing that from the DMV to North Carolina, these prices are not that much different. It might be a couple of dollars cheaper, but it's not that much difference because our average rents here are about $2,200 too. And I'm talking about, for a 3 to 4 bedroom, like single
absolutely
type of house, you're going to pay over $2,000 or more.
So listen to this. I looked up even further. Not even a 1 bedroom, but a room in someone's house for rent. Guess what the average price is to rent a room in somebody's house?
$1,000.
About, I'll say $1,200.
$1,950
Wow.
to rent a room in somebody's house.
That must be a room with in a castle, because I don't know who's paying that.
Or something.
If
That's
you Google
crazy.
it, that's what I said. Ooh, $950 for a room in somebody's house.
Well, here we go back to what is really happening. People that have decent credit need to call AMR Elite LLC so that we can get you the financing that you need and look at what you can afford out here. Because why would you pay the same amount to rent as it would be to buy? When buying, at least you own it, you know. So that's the thing. I mean, we have to understand that renting is one thing, but buying is another. So if you're going to rent higher than you would even buy, it really doesn't make any sense to me. But like I said, everybody has their own reasons. I've had people say, well, I don't want to have lawn care and this, that, and the other. Well, find an HOA that takes care of the lawn.
Yeah. And you can find that.
Some of them take care of the lawn.
So there's a town housing subdivisions that have just been built in Prince George's County and in Charles County. Nice townhouses, 2-car garages. I mean, nice. They're all rentals.
Yeah.
They start at $3,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not surprised. That's what I'm seeing a lot now. There's some in Brandywine. But you know, I've always thought to myself, you know, when you take those rental properties and you put them in the middle of people that are buying, well, what happens when that person that's renting doesn't pay the rent? Do you take all the furniture and put it outside? Because I'm just trying to, you know, understand that, because if I'm an owner and I'm seeing someone that didn't pay their rent, furniture outdoors, I don't think that is going to sit well with me. But because maybe they have some other kind of plan, the way that they do evictions or something. I don't know. Yeah. The last I checked, they put it on the curb.
Yeah, I heard that that's changed, that they no longer put your stuff on the curb. They actually lock you out of your property and you no longer have access to get anything out of your house. That's what I recently heard, that they have changed it.
That makes better sense. That makes better sense.
I actually think that's worse, because you have all your important paperwork and stuff in your house.
Yes.
And if your stuff is outside, now we know you got to get there for somebody to come get your stuff, but at least the stuff is outside. I can tell you, hey neighbor, watch your stuff. But if they lock you out your house, you have no access to get your stuff at all.
But there's a time frame that they give you. They're supposed to be given now. I think it's like 7 days or something like that you have to contact them, and you're able to go in and get as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Within, it's not within the 7 days. It's one of those days within the 7 days.
Yeah, but yeah, they're not putting it outside no more. I don't believe that's what I heard. And I'm
gonna look that up for the state of Maryland and try to find out get those particulars. But you know, irregardless, you know, renters and owners living right next door to each other is a little bit different. But that's communities that they're building now. So
they are. Yeah, everything's a rental. You see all of these places, and I'm like, oh, that's a rental community. Had no clue. They look like, you know, regular townhomes that someone would be in. But if you remember, there was the first subdivision that I saw in Charles County, very nice subdivision. They were starting off at $3,500, and they were having a problem at first renting those out. But the problem too was when you came into that community, you were putting like $6,000 to $8,000 down to move in. I'm like, you can buy a house,
right?
You can buy a house.
With the right education, you can make an informed decision. But without the right education and information, you can make a decision that can ruin your life. And so here's the thing. If you have $7,000 or $8,000 saved up, you have just enough money. Even if you have less than that, you know, I help people get in the house with $1,000.
Me too.
$1,000, $1,000.
Yeah.
So, you know, the thing is making an informed decision, reaching out to the right person that can connect you with the right lender for whatever, using a program, a grant. If you work in the medical field, there's grants for that. If you're a police officer, a firefighter, there's grants and things for that can get you in your first home. But don't just go straight to renting, because then you're locked in for a whole year and we really can't do anything to help you.
Not a thing, because you can't get out of that lease. They're making you pay.
No.
They make you pay every month that you left early.
Yeah, you better pay.
But
that's the real unfortunate thing.
Yeah, a lot of people don't think they can purchase, and I don't know how much or how often we can say it to you. Can buy a house. You can buy a house, even if it's not today, tomorrow, next week. You need to talk to a lender. Let the lender tell you, hey, it could be as simple as you have a $250 credit card. I'm so sorry about this feedback, but you can have a $250 credit card, and all you got to do is pay $50 to be able to buy a house. You wouldn't know unless you talk to the lender.
Yeah,
because there's so many different programs out here to get you into a home that's yours.
Yeah, and like Juanita said, it's all about connecting yourself with an agent that's going to walk you through the process. And I think a lot of people have this misconceived notion that you have to wait till you get to the point of your credit is great or you have the money saved up, when you really should come. It's great if you're there, but come when you're all messed up and you don't know what to do, so that you can have that education and communication to get you on the right path to home ownership.
Yeah.
Because the other thing is, like, people may say, well, I'm debt heavy, right? But there's situations where your debt can be paid off before you actually purchase the home.
Mm-hmm.
And can be included into what you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So your debt can be paid at the settlement table. A lot of people don't know about that.
I've seen it happen, and it was a grant that helped pay it off.
Exactly. So don't think that, got 4 or 5 credit cards, whatever the case may be, that it can't be done. That debt can be paid at the table, and you can still go to settlement of your house. And then you're home free, because then guess what? Yes, you have a mortgage, but you no longer have the credit card bills.
Absolutely. Right. Because it was paid off. I've had that. Yeah. I've had it just recently. So I know it can happen. It can happen.
So we just want to encourage our buyers and even our sellers. It may take a little longer to sell it, but we're going to sell it. Mm-hmm. And we're confident in our ability to be able to make that happen. May take a little longer, because this is just that market where things are just going slow. People are slowly making the decision to get into a home. But that doesn't mean that the home that you have on the market is just going to sit there. No, you also, as realtors, we also have to do a few things too, and owners as well. They need to keep sprucing it up. So while that house is on the market, keep doing items to it. Everything that you see, if it's something that, a deficiency that you can cure, do it while it's on the market. Right. That way, when you get your inspection from your prospective buyer, you don't have to worry about getting a grocery list of items.
That's right.
Because you already took care of them while the house was on the market.
But there's pre-inspections. We can do pre-inspections.
Yes.
There's lots of different things that can be done. There's a lot of houses on the market right now. There really is. For them to be sitting for the time frame that they have is 2 things. It's the pricing. The pricing, you gotta sit down with your agent and say, hey, let's relook at these numbers and let's see what's really going to work. That's one thing. The other thing that's happening is buyers' fear. The buyers are, this world is going crazy. Okay, there's a lot of things going on. Jobs are unstable. The economy is kind of because you don't know from day to day what's going to happen. The last thing that we've been hearing about, and I don't want to say it, but the WAR word, they is that going to happen? So it's so much fear of moving forward with things, but you just have to pay attention to things, talk to people, and get the information that you need. Don't just keep, listening to hearsay or just, sucking everything in and saying, oh my God,
one thing about it, we really don't have any. The future is not in our hands. Everybody knows it goes to a higher power, and we just have to have faith to know. But I would rather have that faith and jump out there in the deep and say, I'm going to be a homeowner regardless of what's happening in my circumstances, as opposed to just sitting there saying, well, I'll wait one more year in this apartment, because whether it's going to happen in the apartment or whether it's going to happen in the home, what's going to happen, we have no control over. Only the man upstairs does. So I think that if we just look at it, and just take the bull by the horns, because a lot of buyers are out there. I'm telling you, people are buying homes because they realize the importance of. Remember, a mortgage stays the same. Rent increases every year.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, if you stay in a rental property for 6 or 7 years, you're not paying the same thing. You stay in a property that you purchased and you're paying the same mortgage, or virtually, because yes, your little insurance can increase and things like that, but it won't be an increase of $350. Now, depending on what loan you get, now that could change. But if you get a fixed mortgage, normally that price doesn't increase for the life of the loan too much where it's unaffordable.
Yeah, the taxes are changing or something like that. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I guess we just have to, we have to always encourage people to buy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care if it's a condo.
Investment, right. Yeah. It's
Get it.
Investment.
It is an investment, and a lot of people don't feel like it's an investment anymore. It is still an investment.
Oh, so yeah. You still growing equity. So, it's like your rent is increasing. You're not getting none of that money. Your landlord is getting it, but you're paying your mortgage every month. That equity is increasing. That's your equity in your home. So that's your investment right there. And I think some buyers may be afraid because they're like, oh, I don't want to do all the maintenance and stuff like that. I mean, okay, rental, sometimes you can get maintenance help with your landlord, but that's neither here or there. I think that it's just a lot of fear, and people aren't realizing that it's still a better option for you to buy than rent, so.
Yeah. Well, the whole conversation.
Buyers got it going on, because I was able to help someone that was in maybe like in his or her later years of life, like in the 60s, we all getting there. And that person became a first-time home buyer. And I mean, like, that means that the majority of their life, they rented from a place, a person. But then when they got a little bit older and they said, you know what, I want something, they jumped out there and they did it. And guess what? If you're less than 60, and if he or she could do it, you can do it too.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing too is, do you still hear buyers saying, I want to wait till the interest rate drops? I keep trying to tell them, don't do that. This is the time to buy, because when the interest rate drops, the price of the houses go up.
Right. It goes in reverse.
Yeah. Yeah.
It goes in reverse.
It's time to buy, though, to start getting your equity and waiting for the interest rate to change. And then you'll have equity. You'll be able to refi. It's different things that can happen. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this market, and somebody said, oh, is it a seller's market? It's just a market. It's just a market again. It's not a seller's. It's not a buyer's. It's just a real estate market.
Even keel right now.
Right. And this is really wild to hear that it's the same in North Carolina, because everybody always thinks everything is so much cheaper there.
Yeah, that's like is going up too. I'm pretty sure of it.
Yeah, I have people calling me like, "Hey, can I get something for 150, 200?" No, I mean
maybe about 5 years ago.
Yeah. Now we do have some places on the outskirts, because I actually do have a buyer that's getting a property that's under 240, but it's like in a rural area. It's on the outskirts of Raleigh, so it just depends. So I'm not going to say that you can't get something for between 2 to 250, but it's going to be somewhere way on the outskirts. It's not going to be in the big city, and it's probably going to be in a more of a rural area. So
does it need work?
Well, no. I mean, actually, the owner has kept it up pretty good, but we have not completed the inspection as of yet. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, that means no.
Yeah,
I'm gonna leave it right there.
That's the thing I'm seeing when anything in this market here under 300,000, it kind of needs some work. It kind of needs some love, some TLC to make it a diamond again. Some shining up.
But you can get some deals that way as well. Some people that are really want to put the sweat equity in there and then do the little work and then flip it and make their money back. You can do that too. This is that market now because we're going to start seeing a lot of short sales and foreclosures on this market.
Yeah, put some carpet and some paint. Be willing to do something. Everybody wants something that they can move right in. Everything is not going to look like a brand new model home. It's just not.
True. It's not.
And that's the truth.
It's not.
And that's where you get your deals at.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the deals. I mean, that's where you go in with equity. Yeah. So if it's worth 200 and you're able, you know what I'm saying? It's worth 200. You're able to maybe in a year's time you might get 30. You might have $20,000-$30,000 in equity. So that's the thing. So that if you want to resell it, you're not on the losing end. You're still able to get all your money back.
Tell people, if you're able to use a program to purchase this house, then that frees up your money to renovations to the house. And now you have all types of equity. You just don't realize the prize that you just received by purchasing like that. But everybody wants everything to be shiny and perfect the first time, and that's fine if you can afford it.
Right. That's the thing, because don't get in there and be house poor. You like, okay, I can't buy groceries. I can't. So be mindful of your price points and your spending and your other expenses when you're buying a home. But most of the time, like we said, the rents are so high that you really don't realize you're already paying for a lot of the same stuff that people who are in a mortgage are paying for with what you're paying now in an apartment.
And look at sometimes what the headache you're paying for. You're paying for when you're renting in an apartment or something that's attached or whatever. You're paying for everybody's bugs. You're paying for everybody's noise.
Pets. That's the worst. Pets. Having to clean up after the pets. You go outside. You're like, whose dog did something outside? Gotta walk outside.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, but you know what? Overall, this is the time to buy. This is the time to sell. If you want to do it, contact your realtor today at AMR Elite Realtors LLC or Making Moves Happen in North Carolina. Just contact us and we're ready to walk you through the process, get you all the information that you need. You need to get educated. We're here to educate. We're here to help. We're here to assist. Because what are we, Juanita?
We are reliable realtors.
Providing exceptional service.
No need to go far.
Come on down to AMR. And guess what? We forgot to highlight any listings. What listings or anything do you have on the market right now, Alicia? Can you give us that address?
I have a property at 1270 Palmer Road in Fort Washington. It is a 3-bedroom, 3 full bath townhome condo. Not too far from the National Harbor. Has had some renovations, new HVAC unit, carpeting, appliances, all that good stuff.
Awesome.
Okay. All right. And I got 2816 Ridge Road in Waldorf, Maryland. It's a 5-bedroom. It's 3 baths. It has a new roof. It's newly renovated. It has a lot of land. It has a beautiful backyard. You could build whatever you want, a pool, anything. I have that. That's on the market. And then there's another one that I have that's 7305 Corrine Court. That's a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom in Brandywine, Maryland. And as you know, in Brandywine, you can walk right across the street to the Target, Starbucks, all of those different amenities there. And another one coming soon, a condo. And we'll talk about that in the next conference.
Yeah, I have it coming soon as well. What you got, Miss Mashana?
I have buyers. So I do have one of my agents does have a listing. So I don't know the address by heart, but we do have a listing at the firm with one of my other agents. But we have like several buyers that we're working with right now.
All right. All right. Well, send them here.
So if you have a house that you want to sell, you need to contact her because she has buyers.
Yeah. And I think it's 1043 Box Elder Lane in Charlotte, and it's a 3 or 4 bedroom single family house. But I don't have all the details, so I will speak on it. But we'll post it on it'll be posted. You can see it through our website as well.
And what's your website, Mashana?
MakingMovesHappenRealty.com.
All right. And Alicia,
So
what's
the
ours?
hours is right here, www.amrelite.com.
All right. All right.
Again, we thank you everyone for joining us this morning for Coffee and Conversation. It's always good to know that you're here. It's always good for us to be able to share our wealth of knowledge and everything concerning the real estate industry. We love you. Thank you for watching. See you next time.
Next time.
Bye-bye.
Stay cool.